What is good, Armada? Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. So this is going to be a video where I'm just kind of giving you an update on where we are with the broadcast, kind of a state of stream, state of the community sort of video. And I am also going to kind of give you an idea of what's happening in my life, what's going on, why I haven't been streaming a lot, as well as the path moving forward. So as some of y'all or most of y'all probably already know, back in October I started a new job. That new job I got that job because I had always heard great things about the company, the way they treat the employees. The compensation has always been touted as something that is really, really favorable, and is really good. If you've heard the term golden handcuffs, it really applied to this company. So I get this job, and long story short, there were a bunch of promises and expectations set at the outset of me getting the job with the company, from the company, that were either not held up or were misconstrued. We'll go with misconstrued. It's a much more polite way to put it. But basically, the long and the short of it, with what's going on with the company, is they have kind of shifted from this heavy focus on taking care of your employees, to a focus on profits, on the bottom line, making the company as profitable as possible. And of course, there's typically two ways that you manage to make a company more profitable, and that is through innovation and better serving your customer base, or by trimming fat and squeezing your employees. And that's what's taking place in this company. It's being done very, very covertly, and a lot of misdirection is taking place. But if you have more than a couple of brain cells to rub together and really look at things holistically, it's a trend within the company towards less care for the employee and more care about that bottom line. And ultimately, that is creating a work environment that's very difficult. It's not a good work environment. Stressful. Everything is always in flux and change, so you don't even have any guarantees of this is the way things are gonna be, and I just can if I can square myself with this, then I'm gonna be good. You don't even have that sort of a guarantee. So as difficult as it is for me, and it is difficult because I don't like to quit things, y'all know that, I have actually, Julia and I made the decision together, at her behest even, to go ahead and leave the company if they tried to make me go into the office to work. COVID's, I hesitate to say COVID's winding down, but there's a little more normalcy coming back, especially here in Texas. And so there's a lot of businesses that are going back to the office. And I was technically hired as a in-office employee, but because the whole company was working from home, I worked from home. And much to the company's credit, they did recognize that, hey, we're getting pretty much the same productivity from our employees as they're working from home as if they were in the office. And of course, given the focus on the profit that I was talking about earlier, it's cheaper. It works out just across the board to be better for the company. And so obviously they are deciding to let people continue to work from home. And in fact, my job role is now considered a work from home job role. But the IT department has set some arbitrary rules on download speed for the internet, not upload speed, download speed. And I'm doing on the phone stuff through voice over IP. So that, if you know anything about networks and internet, then the fact that they only have like a guideline for the download speed means it's arbitrary. And then they also have a rule that you have to have a buried cable. So think fiber optic, DSL cable. Shoot, if you could get the speeds that they arbitrarily picked out of dial-up, that would even work. But unfortunately, as y'all know, my woes with internet have not gotten fixed, and the potential fix is Starlink, Elon Musk's satellite internet, but that is specifically excluded. So basically, they're gonna make me go back not go back to the office. They're gonna make me work at the office which is all well and good. I expected that when I got the job. What I didn't expect was the amount of jerking around that has taken place, and I didn't expect to end up with a split day off schedule. So I'm off Thursdays and Saturdays. So I have to use PTO in order to get 2 connected days off. And if you ever worked a split schedule, you know how fucking terrible it is. It drains you physically, emotionally, mentally, because you're not getting, 2 days consecutively to get shit done on one day and then relax and recharge on the other. What ends up happening when you have split days off is often, if you're a motivated person, if you're a person who really cares about checking the things off that they need to check off, if you've got split days off, what oftentimes ends up happening is you end up just pushing and working both days. On whatever it is that you're working on at home, whatever your side hustle is, you end up just spending both of those days doing that, especially when your spouse doesn't share the days off, which she doesn't. So that's all to say, I'm going to be leaving this job. It's difficult for me. I put 6 months into training. I put 3 months into trying to get through the nasty, intro part, the basically hazing that takes place in a lot of corporate environments. Julia and I ultimately decided that the negative impact it was having on me mentally and emotionally, and the amount of stress that I was under because everything was always in flux, just was not worthwhile. The money's nice, but with her new job, she got a little bit of a pay bump. And to be quite honest, even when I was streaming full time, we were still living much more comfortably than we've ever lived, with both of us working even. So about mid-July, I'm going to be done at this particular job. We thought about me getting another job, kind of to fill that same void, to meet the same ends. Because what we want is we want to be able to purchase property and we want to be able to start a family. Now, that said, we're kind of squaring ourselves with starting a family before we purchase property just because it does make sense. Our living situation right now is very favorable, and though we would be cramped, we could have our first in our current living situation. And realistically, we could have even 2 without too much problems. I mean, it's the same sort of living situation that I grew up in, so it's possible. But we really, Julia really wanted to have our own place before, we actually pull the trigger on that. So, thought heavily about finding another job, another decent paying job to fill that void so that we can sock that money away to be able to purchase property. But ultimately, largely at Julia's behest and at her dad's behest, and shout out to my father-in-law. I gotta say, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law are hands down some of the most supportive people in my life, and I appreciate the hell out of that, seriously. So, at their behest, I'm gonna be working for myself again. I'm going to be doing custom work, so y'all probably, if you've been around for a while, you know that I have done woodworking from cabinetry all the way to general construction. I've done steel work from just basic cut this, weld that, to intricate fabrication, and I've even done blacksmithing. So I'm going to bring all 3 of those to bear, and I'm going to be doing custom order pieces for people. Obviously, you don't just jump into that and be successful. You have to build a clientele. So it's going to be kind of a slow build early on, more than likely. I also do plan on doing, pieces that don't have someone that's ordered them. I put this vanity together, or I made this coffee table, and then try and sell it. Just to be able to build my portfolio, try and get an Instagram following going, because that's a very common way that people in this sort of an industry manage to develop their clientele. So that's going to be, the job. That's going to be the business. I've also really started diving deep into financial education, educating myself on finances, how to leverage money to work for me, how to lower taxes. It's all through Robert Kiyosaki and his team. So it all started with Rich Dad Poor Dad. Well, actually, I take that back. Think and Grow Rich was kind of a recognition point that there was stuff I was missing in my understanding of money. That one, though, was a little more about my own mental place and how I handle myself. But not Think and Grow Rich. That's what I was talking about. That's Napoleon Hill, by the way. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But Robert Kiyosaki's book, his original book, is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Another excellent read. It's not so much step-by-steps on how to develop financial freedom and move the ball forward in that realm. It's more a story of his experience, and I found it very relatable, and I found that a lot of the things in it made good sense to me, and it really highlighted for me that that's an area in my life that I have a huge deficiency, is financial planning. Not holding on to money, not saving, not keeping a budget, but actually getting your finances, your dollars, to go out and make more dollars. And to be able to end up with a passive income that you don't have to, trade your time for money. That's the goal. So alongside this custom business, which I still need to find a name for, I'm going to be continuing my financial education, and we're going to start investing in, I kind of feel like we're in that the real estate bubble is going to pop, and when that happens, we hope to have, the funds in place and the financing in place to be able to invest some in real estate, because it's a very stable investment. Unless you're, doing speculative stuff, it's kind of a guaranteed win if you do your research and your homework. Guaranteed win? No, it's not a guaranteed win. Any investment has the chance to go tits up, but it's a pretty stable investment. And so we're hoping to be able to, snag some properties and get some income, some passive income being generated through that. And then I'm also really looking into crypto. I genuinely believe that crypto is the future of our currency. As humans, not U.S. currency, but just overall. It makes so much sense, and I bought in at this point. So I'm, going to be continue to educate myself on those matters, and that's going to be happening, in kind of my downtime. Now with that custom work, though, I actually am taking our carport, and it's not being used as a carport right now. It's kind of being used as a glorified storage shed at the moment. I'm going to be closing in that carport, cleaning it out. That's going to become my shop for the custom work. And the long-term goal here is to actually have the shop completely wired for video and audio. So you'll be able to, I'll be able to record videos, do live streams, and that's the plan. Now, content creation is going to be an ancillary aspect of the actual custom business. And I think that there's a lot of value there added to the custom business, because so many people these days really, really give a crap about the provenance of the item that they're purchasing. It's no longer necessarily what's the cheapest. It's now oftentimes, is it ethically sourced? Is it recycled? Who made it? Is it benefiting small business? And I'm all for that. I am all for that. So I want to lean into that a little bit. And that's part of the reason for, having videos, is I would love to be able to, get commissioned to do a kitchen table that's slab oak, something like that, something gorgeous, and be able to, when I sell that piece, or, when I deliver that piece, also say, hey, check out this playlist. It's your table creation from start to finish. I feel like people would really, really vibe with that. So I'm going to be doing, first and foremost, I'm going to be doing videos. of projects, and then after that I do intend to do live streaming. Now the reason that's a long-term goal is that cabling to set stuff up is going to be expensive in its own right, because the links of runs that we're going to need. I'm going to need to build another PC that lives out in the shop and is beefy enough to handle 5 or 6 cameras input. I also, of course, I'm going to have to get all the mounting hardware for the cameras. I'm going to have to figure out where we need microphones so that I don't have to be lapel mic'd up. There's just a whole lot that goes into that production. A whole lot of time, but more so a whole lot of money. So that's a long-term goal. Now that said, when I am done at my current job, you can expect that I will be doing more gaming live streams. Now those gaming live streams are gonna be different than they used to be. So I used to really highly curate what I was playing because I watched Twitch and I knew what was trending, what people were watching, and I also knew what games I could create content for that was gonna draw in new community members. And there were a lot of analytics and a lot of studying that went into that to do it. And since I am going to have this other business, it would be dumb of me to try and work both of these as a full-time deal. So streaming is going to take a back seat, and when I do video game streams, I'm going to be streaming what I'm playing, what I'm enjoying right now. Maybe it'll be Skyrim, occasionally it'll probably be Minecraft, there's going to be a whole hell of a lot of Warzone, maybe some League, but I do also hope to be able to do more community play, so have a full squad in Warzone, and that's hopefully going to happen sooner rather than later, because we should be getting Elon Musk's Starlink internet, so that's his satellite internet, and that's going to be basically equivalent to at least DSL. So that's where we sit with the the state of the stream. Now in my tweet I did say that I missed y'all and I miss the community and I miss broadcasting, but I'm conflicted about it. And that's true. I genuinely have missed broadcasting. It's an outlet that I enjoy, but I enjoy providing that community space for the Armada and for all our Space Vikings that have come to know and love us. And that hasn't changed for me. I still want that. But I am a little conflicted with broadcasting. If I'm being totally honest, and this is just a feeling, this is not based in factual anything, but I feel a little let down, not by you, not by the community, not by the Armada. I feel let down by the platform. I feel let down by a commoditization of something that was so genuine and so pure. I mean, as weird as it sounds to call a bunch of people playing video games and interacting with other people pure, and oftentimes raunchily interacting with other people pure, but it really was. And it's shifted at this point. Looking at the really successful broadcasters on Twitch, it's a style of content creation that it's not really for me, if I'm being totally transparent here. And I could fake it, but I really give a shit about being genuine. And faking things, even if you're really good at it and no one can tell, it has a deleterious effect on you. It's just simple as that. And so I'm not going to be changing my content style dramatically or drastically. That said, since I am going to be streaming a lot more games like Warzone and League of Legends, things where I'm not actively engaging chat, I am going to try and just kind of amp up the entertainment value, but still be genuine with it. So you can expect some broadcasts with some consistency. I'm hoping once or twice a week, about mid-July starting. But I'm going to keep you all in the loop. I'm not going to just go radio silent anymore. Honestly, I was in a depression, exhaustion, and was in no state to interact with my family, much less, the Twitch community, much less the Armada. So I opted not to stream, and I wish that I had been able to. I had every intention to maintain at least 2 streams a week through training and all of that, but I was just so drained, at the end of every day, that I couldn't bring myself to do it. So I apologize for that. I know I don't need to apologize, but I'm apologizing to myself as much as I am to you, the community, because I let myself down, and I let y'all down. But it's gonna change. Now, of course, everything is in flux, everything is fluid, so there is always the chance, it's not a likelihood, but there is always the chance that I'll end up having to, get a part-time job, or if this custom work doesn't work out at all, then obviously I'll be looking for a full-time job or a different venture to get involved with. And of course, any of that sort of stuff does have the potential to have some sort of bearing on broadcasts. Just simple as that. So I will keep you in the loop. But for every single one of you that watches this, thank you so much for your steadfast support and for a desire to continue to have our community grow and, provide that place of genuine equality and genuine acceptance of people. All people. Yeah, all people. Not just the ones that's hip to accept. I mean, if you're watching this, you fucking know how it is. That's the truth of the matter. If you're watching this video, then you know how it is. And if you're at this point, then you know how it is. Tell you what, since I'm about to wrap this up, I want you, if you're right here, right now, seeing this part of this video, just comment with an eggplant. Just an eggplant emoji. Get that dick in there. And I'm going to be interested to see how many people do comment there. And then, of course, there's going to be a shorter version of this video on YouTube. It's going to be just a really Cliff Notes, not on YouTube, on Twitter. It's going to be a really short, condensed version of this video with just the brief points. So if you're here watching this, then I want you to know that you are one of the core members of the Armada. That's what it boils down to. If I've been damn near radio silent for 9 months and you're willing to watch, like a 25 minute video from me, just catching you up, then you are absolutely a core member of the Armada, and thank you so much. So yeah, love your freaking faces. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day or week. And for you that's watching this on the toilet, I hope everything comes out, good. Yeah, good luck, but good luck. All right, but that is the end of it. I don't think I missed anything. Obviously, if I did, I'll keep y'all updated. Love you freaking faces, guys.